Barking of East London is the principal district in the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham, 9 miles east of London's official centre. The Anglo-Saxons began the evolvement of its name with Berichingas. By 1086, its identity was firmly established as Berchingae via its Domesday Book entry to refer to the settlement of Berica's people. The town centre forms a large retail and commercial district set back from its industrial elements in the form of power stations alongside our famous river. The site of the former power stations is currently being redeveloped with 10,000 homes, 7 schools and a new Overground station to form Barking Riverside. The first Barking Abbey of 1666 was a set of identical wooden buildings separated out for monks and nuns. After some war and destruction, the abbey was rebuilt. A few weeks after the Battle of Hastings, William the Conqueror used it as a stopover whilst he was waiting for his Norman keep, that white tower of the Tower of London, to be finished, a resented symbol of oppression upon London at that time. Thanks to the vast amount of royal donations, the abbey was now a rich and powerful single-sex Benedictine nunnery. The abbesses, given the title Lord of the Manor, were handpicked by the king from noble families of high status, very well educated in history, ancient law, biblical studies, grammar and spelling. Given how extreme the belief in the power of prayer was during the medieval period, these women almost fully controlled the lives of Barking and Dagenham inhabitants along its roads, bridges, windmills, woodlands and watercourses. Mary Becket was made an abbess as a reparation for the murdering of her little brother, Thomas Becket. This park of ruins is constructed out of excavated material from the main abbey buildings demolished in 1540. Archaeologists have unveiled extremely rare coins, coloured glass and hair combs made from bone, as well as the remains of 2 pillories at this site, the earliest known in Europe. People had their heads and arms locked in these pillories to punish them for committing minor crimes. They were pelted with rotten vegetables by random passers-by. The police force in the 1890s was big for a town of this size, but was necessary to quell trouble from its 37 inns, where the demon drink would be available. Crimes would include murder, arson, animal stealing and poisoning. Numerous folk throughout this time were found drowned in Barking Creek. The penalty for stealing was a fine of about £1. Drunkenness got you a fine of 50p or 14 days imprisonment, but if you neglected a child, you could be sentenced to 3 months hard labour.
I'm selling the fish, sir. Fresh fish. And you have some frozen stuff. London district. London district.
This district was an ancient parish incorporating the 2 areas we now recognise as both Barking and Ilford within the county of Essex. This is a cloudy issue. In 1965, Barking, like Romford and others, was legally transferred from the county of Essex into the county of Greater London. However, long-standing residents referenced the potent historical connections and intimate proximities with Essex areas. This is why many will still use Essex as their county when writing out or typing out Barking addresses. Since 2017, the DB Euro hub of this district has uniquely been running trains from Barking to China on the Yiwu to London line. It's probably not suitable for commuters, since the journey does take 18 days. In any case, it's only a direct freight service importing containers of clothes and high street goods for now. Passengers wishing to visit China by railway need to interchange with several overnight trains. Transport links were solidified by the 1854 built station, opening as the London Tilbury and Southend Railway. It was quite perilous. Several passengers lost their lives slipping through the pedestrian gate onto the train track. In 1878, the deaf landlord of the Spotted Dog pub ran directly into a passing train, prompting the construction of a footbridge over the track instead. The Lighted Lady of Barking is 20 metres of white coated steel topped by a blue acrylic disc lit up by multiple colours at night to make a positive statement about the diversity of Barking's cultural society since 2007. The whole thing straddles the River Roding, joined to the Thames by Barking Creek, which in the 1850s was extremely active as a saltwater fishing port. Local men landed and stored the fish in a Victorian icehouse before boating them up the river to Berchingae and the other fish markets. The creek is completely tidal until it reaches the Barking Creek Barrier, a 40-metre high weir, managing and setting a suitable water level through Barking whilst allowing boats to pass through at high tide.